Hey guys, this video is about how authors develop themes. So we talked last time about what a theme is, and we said that it's 1 to 2 sentences that describe what a book says about a topic. So it is not just a one-word topic, it's a sentence about that topic. Remember also that themes can be universal, so they can be applied to many different books, so we don't use names or titles when we're making a theme sentence. Authors develop themes by using literary devices, and this means that they're using tools that hint at these large themes or ideas and meanings in a story. Some examples of these literary devices are imagery, similes and metaphors, symbolism, characterization and tone, which we've just spent a lot of time talking about this unit, irony, personification, point of view, conflict. These are all examples of literary devices that authors use to develop a theme. There are other ones also, but these are some of the main ones. We can identify these literary devices by looking at things like word choice. What words is an author using? Are they creating similes and metaphors? Are they creating pictures, images in our minds with their description? Are they specifically creating a tone or some kind of conflict that helps us understand the theme? We can look at word choice and structure to determine what a theme is. So authors use these literary devices, and we can use word choice and structure to determine which literary devices are being used. This is an example that we used in our last theme notes, right, about Romeo and Juliet. So the theme we said was that love can make people do impulsive things. This is an example, a piece of text evidence from Act 4, Scene 1. And this is an example of imagery. So my sort of short explanation here, I'm sure you can do better with explanations, but this is a little short one, is that Shakespeare uses imagery when Juliet describes what she would do if she isn't able to be with Romeo to show that she's acting impulsively. So if we look through our evidence here, these are the things that she is saying she would do if she can't be with Romeo and she has to marry Paris instead. She says, "Oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris from off the battlements of yonder tower, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me lurk where serpents are, chain me with roaring bears, or bid me go into a new-made grave and hide me with the dead man in his tomb." So these are all things that she says she'd rather do, like jump off of a tower, walk among thieves, hang out with snakes, be chained with bears, hang out in a grave with a dead man. These are all very extreme things to do. So Shakespeare uses imagery to create these pictures of these horrible things to show us how impulsive she's acting, because she's only really known Romeo for like less than a week and she's 14. So this is a real extreme reaction to not being able to be with him. This is another example based on one of our previous examples of theme. We said that in The Lion King, a theme could be guilt can stop people from living their lives. So I'm going to use indirect characterization here since we've talked about it a lot. So we could say that this film uses indirect characterization to show that Simba's content to run from his problems, living with Timon and Pumbaa, and leaving his old life and family behind. And the film does this because Simba stays away from his home, his family, and anything reminding him of his past. He isn't really truly adopting that motto, Hakuna Matata, because that means that he's leaving the past behind him. And he's not really leaving the past behind him, he's just running from his past. So the film uses indirect characterization to show us that he's using this life with Timon and Pumbaa as a way to hide from what he thinks he's done. So this guilt he's feeling is stopping him from living his life. He's not moving on, he's just sort of hiding. So that's a way that the film's using indirect characterization to help us better understand this theme. So the literary device here is indirect characterization, and this is the theme. Now, we can talk about how authors develop theme by using the same structure that we talked about with our paragraph structure notes that we took the other day. So we can use this paragraph structure here, our claim, evidence, explanation, and analysis, to talk about developing theme also. So here's an example of a claim you could make. In the title of a book or story, the author uses whatever literary element you want to talk about to develop the idea that, then list your theme. So in our Romeo and Juliet example, it would look like this. In Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare uses imagery to show that love can make people do impulsive things. Right? So in Romeo and Juliet, the author, Shakespeare, uses imagery to develop the idea that love can make people do impulsive things. So we can fill in the blanks here, and that's our claim. Our evidence would come from the text and be cited. So that's what I did there. I wrote our Act 4, Scene 1 citation at the bottom, and that evidence is right from the play. Then you explain what the evidence means, what it's telling us. So I had that little short explanation there. And like I said, you guys can write better explanations than that. That's a really short one, but it's an explanation. And then the analysis here is making a connection between your explanation and your claim. So how does this literary element help us better understand theme? This is something that I didn't do in that example slide, but this would be something like explaining how this imagery helps us understand the theme, because we're seeing all the extreme things that Juliet would do, and we understand in the play that she's very young and she hasn't known Romeo that long, so that really shows us that she's being impulsive. This is not a normal, reasonable reaction. So that's kind of the analysis here. So by using this CEEA model, we can talk about how authors develop theme. We would use the same model to write about it also. So think about our paragraph structure here as a way to help us talk about these ideas of how an author develops theme with literary devices. All right, we're going to talk a lot more about this coming up really soon in class, and we're going to use this to write about in our common assessments. So we'll get to practice this a bunch. Thanks, guys.